Hello everybody and welcome to the Assessor course of Formula 1 Grand Prix at Monza. I'll actually have to check how many more Grand Prix we have. There aren't that many to go, but as we are just before we go to look at the racing on track at the minute, as we have 30 minutes of practice at the moment, but here is the driver standings after the Belgian Grand Prix. We have Samuel Ivanov in P1 with 151.5 points. And P2 is Timo Nathaniel with 97.5 points. Max Romer in P3 with 90 points, keeping Bijou Racing leading the championship with 187 points. Breaking Point Racing in Constructors are 164 points. And Minty Fresh Mugen, the team with Brady and Will KB in it, have 90 points and are in third. As in fourth position for Rockstar Force Tunisia, Fulvio Phoenix has 66 points in the Drivers' Championship. Alex Halm and Brady both have 43 points in the Drivers' Championship. Will KB has 39 points. Peter Jones has 38. Victor Bernat has 27 and Tina Curtis has 25. Quail Racing are 5th in the Constructors with 71 points. 2012 Motorsport have 66 points and are 6th. Force Tunisia in 4th with 76 points. In 8th, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 teams. So in 7th, there's It's Dame Racing with 53 points. 8th is Racetech Esports with 37 points. 9th is Europroton Renault with 28 points. And on equal points with Europroton Renault is Overdrive Honda. And now we look to the racing. As we watch Nassim going through a lap, we've just about missed him going into turn 1 and 2. But through turn 3 very nicely. I think Nassim can do very well today, as he is, we've seen from previous Grand Prix, he is a driver that can do a lot with the setup. Oh, there's a car around there, a Quail Racing car there, of not Jeremy Guth, Victor Bernat, who's not on the time screen, but Jeremy Guth has been involved with that incident. Now we're hoping to see Nassim Rula do well today. We're hoping to see Nassim do well today, as he is a driver that we have seen at other Grand Prix. He has done very well to have a very high top speed using as little aerodynamics as possible and just using the suspension of the car to get it to the car in the background there off of Jeremy Guth, I think, or Victor Bernat, one of the two. But Nassim Rula, he's a driver that can do a lot with the setup to make it fast on the straights, but still amazing through the corners. Now I will leave you with an onboard. Timo Nathaniel is currently second place in the championship as he comes through the second half of the lap. And that was Timo off there at Ascari. That might be a difficult point for the driver, because that's the second driver I've seen so far that has gone off at that point of the track. So now we look to Alexander Rudakov, who is just on a warm-up lap, I think. Might be a flyer. I think it's a flying lap now. He was just weaving a little bit into the Lesmo, so I wasn't quite sure. But down to a Sky Chicane, let's see, can he take it? Probably. as we move, apologies for leaving you on rude cover in the pits, but we move to our, at the moment, championship leader. I'm getting messages. Yeah. Wait, give me a sec. Sorry for the small interruption, but we are still running on board with Samuel Ivanov. He is 2/10 off of our pole position time at the minute. And Nassim Rula, a driver that personally I was expecting to do quite well at Monza, as he is somewhat of a god with low aero setups. At Donington he was, I think every track so far, he's been about 10 kilometers faster down the straight, so surely he will be 10 kilometers faster down the straights at Monza. But everyone's running as low aero as possible. So, that is Pietro Lunghi has spun at the Ascari chicane, and Samuel Ivanov, not quite seeing him through the smoke, has hit him there. And return to the pits. We're now riding on board with Timo Nathaniel, the reigning world champion from season 1, hoping to be able to try and claw back his way to winning the championship in season 2. But he has got fierce competition from Samuel Ivanov and maybe even Max Romer. I'm not sure if Max can win it anymore, but him and Samuel have been having some great battles. And hopefully next season we may have 2 or 3 more drivers that are at quite a high skill level to be able to win the championship. What am I looking for? The timings. There we are, live timings. So if I look at top speed, Nassim has just gone third place. Third place on my screens in the timings in the Assetto course of timings. He has gone second. It seems the timings are a bit different between my application and the game, as for me the best time is a 23.0, while in the timings it's a 22.6. I'm going to take off my timings. Yes, because these timings are from quite the long session. But if we look at top speed, we have Nassim Rula with 29 kilometers an hour, 329 kilometers an hour top speed, which is about the same as everyone else. Will KB's a little bit faster, but there's a very good chance he had a slipstream or is running some stupid setup where he is like, I mean, you'd think that at Monza every driver's going completely zero on the wings and just using suspension because of how much the thing is, but we'll have to see. So yes, at the moment we have 13 drivers in the server, it seems, and or 15 cars on the server, 13 drivers, 2 commentaries, and we will ride on board and let you listen to the whine of the V10, I think this car is. The whine of the 2009 Williams engine. And that is Nassim into the pit lane. And so we will quickly look at Fulvio Phoenix, who is on a lap at the minute. Only 2,000ths off the fastest time. As Fulvio caught the gravel a little bit on the exit there, and so has abandoned out of this lap and is going for another push lap. It seems. I need to remember who won in Spa. I'm not sure who it was. Oh no, it was Samuel, wasn't it? Oh yeah, because he made that amazing last corner overtake. Yeah, that was great. Cool. Oh geez, but yes, it was Samuel actually that won. Well, me last week in Spa, last week or the week before. That's a car accelerating off of the apex, and Phoenix was up by a 1/10.5 there. And with that car on the apex, he may have lost a lot of momentum there. But it's only practice, where there's not anything to fight for. We're fighting for the fastest time, but that's to do here. We might not be able to do it in a quality. Yeah, he lost a second there from the unsurety of the driver on the apex there, which was Victor Bernat, who has set a lap time. And now we go to off board. off board. Oh. We go to off board with Victor Bernat in the a Quail racing car. Crosses the 9 lines. That's a 1 minute 30.1. As I make sure I have timings up. Someone's put something in chat there. Let me get a stream up quick. I want to keep that one. I want to keep that one. Okay. Yeah. ACF1 should be live. Why am I not looking? I guess it's when I'm streaming. Interesting. It probably is when I'm streaming. It's just to make sure that nothing happens. Yes, Victor Bernat is stopped. I'm doing a practice start of the exit pit lane. There we are. And she is one amount of revs. Interesting. Actually, if we look at the sector timings, Timo is up at the minute apparently. He may have invalidated a lap at some point, which would have broken our timings until he set a fully valid lap. As we go to the gaps to the fastest time, you can see that all path 3 drivers are out on track at the minute. This is just YouTube chat. Yeah, it has been yellow since these races. I mean, I can have a look again. Cause we've got a message, but I can have a look again. But if it's not changed on here, so let me go to the which drivers it is Dame Racing. I don't know. That's why I will hover through them all as I go on board. Even if the car's been updated. If it's not changed by Timo on the server, then it's just going to be this car. So it could very well be yellow, but Timo might not have updated on the server, or because if it wasn't correct, it would come up as white if it wasn't the correct skin. So I can try the skin again. Yeah, I've got not much I can do. Look, it's... I hover over it, it's the yellow background, but it's the red car. If I go to here quick, check my skins, look for It's Them Racing, or here we are. Yeah, look, every single skin I have for them is this one, so it's meant to be yellow. It isn't. Where's stream gone? I need to keep an eye on you. Don't get lost. Wait, as I look at the timings quick. Nothing has. Oh, Phoenix. I'm so sorry. It's practice. I'm sorry if I'm missing things. Nassim's P3. With 1/10 off of Phoenix in P1. Here we are. Stream. I'm sorry if the track isn't the track or the skins aren't 100%, but I only have the skins that I've been told to download, and if they aren't changed on the server or they aren't changed by team owners or drivers, then that's how they're going to be. Nassim coming through turn 3 now. I'm just messing around with my mic, so sorry if you can hear any click-clackety sounds. Cool. So yeah, it's Nassim through turn 4 and 5. I don't know that caller name. Lesmo 1. Very nice. Not anywhere near track limits. Lesmo 2. Brings it in again. Very nice. In track limits. Down to the Ascari chicane. Let's see, everything seems okay. Let's see through this third park. That's where drivers been getting caught out. Nope. All good. So now down to Parabolica. Can Nassim, if Nassim is on a flying lap, can he set a pole time? Because sometimes our timing does break and don't give me sector times. But I think he's just on his way to start a lap that we will watch. So down into turns 1 and 2, the infamous turns 1 and 2. Let's hope we don't have a race like in Imola. And there's a lovely wall there. He returns to pit lane for some reason. Is there any other camera angle? There's another camera angle. There's a third camera angle. Stopping on track there. Anyway, Max Romer into the Ascari chicane. Everything looks good. Oh, nice little static image there. As there's a camera from all the way from the back of Parabolica. Watching him come down the straight through Parabolica. Very nice. Bringing the car out wide, but not too wide. Down to the line, and he sets a 23.8, putting him P7. I think that's what he set. Now anyway, Max on a lap. Ooh, there's the 2012 Motorsport car there. Just a little bit in the way maybe. But as he seems to be continuing on with the lap, we're right on board now through turn 3. Down to 4 and 5. Just a little flick of chicane in the F1 games. He's a 10th up on pole position at the minute. Max Romeo is a 10th up on pole position, but a lot of understeer there, went a little bit wide. Lap time might be invalidated. Seems fine, a little bit wide. Lesmo 2 again, but with 4 minutes 15 left of this practice session, can Max Romer set a fastest time? I'm being messaged by probably Timo, yep. Oh wait, I need to try and... Anyway, there's Max Romer having a struggle in the final or middle sector, it seems. Being 8 tenths off, but as we look on board with Timo, I will try to get the skin situation sorted out, but I don't think this thing is yellow. I think it's... I'll quickly install over existing. Install now. Oh my god, why is it changing now? I swear to god I changed it, but so... Wait, is that only one of the classes? So, Damien's car is, I'm guessing, their new look. So, but I only have Damien's car is the only car that I can see with the green and yellow skin, which is, I'm guessing this is how they're meant to look for the new car. But every other skin I have is the red. Well, not much I can do about that. There's proof to Timo that it isn't working, because that is the second or third time I've installed that now. No, second time I've installed. Anyway, Timo now finishing a lap sets a 23.89 tenths off of the fastest lap in this practice session with 1 minute 40 to go. He may get 2 more laps in, but we're going to now look to Nassim, who is just coming through Parabolica now. Down to the line to start a lap. Down into T1, it's a lovely angle here. Into T1, can we get a good angle? Oh, we might finally be able to see the drivers through turn 1 and 2. There we are, into turn 1, very nice, nothing too bad. Ooh, a little bit of grass there as he's come out of the thing. Might not like that. But yeah, so as he continues with his lap, I'm going to eat, so I'm going to mute for a bit. That is the end of practice there. And so after that, the fastest lap times were Nassim on hard tire. Oh, was it? Oh, just like that. So it was Nassim on the hard tire with a 22.4. Anastasov with the soft tire on a 22.93. Phoenix on the hard tire with a 22.95. Timo Nathaniel on the hard tire also with a 23.000. Samuel Ivanov, MP5 with the 23.2 on the soft compound tyre. And Alexander Rudakov, MP6, also on the soft compound tyre setting, a 1 minute 23.65. As we can quickly see. Samuel Ivanov. As you can see, the drivers here talking a little bit. Yes, you can see Samuel Ivanov bringing up the fact that he was on the soft tyre and Phoenix was on the hard tyre, and there was 3 to 4 tenths between them. See, Samuel Ivanov is in chat now. There is messages at me. So I am going to quickly close my game, switch stream to the standings page, and go into my files, because clearly I've done something wrong. Manage folder. Skins. It's Dame Racing somewhere here. Let's just get rid of them all. There. There we are. Have I still got one or none? Apparently none. So anyway, I will. I'm just going to redrag this file in, because that's the download file. So if it's wrong, it's wrong. There's 4 new skins. I don't know where they've gone, but I've installed It's Dame Racing, so I'll try and rejoin now. But if it's wrong, it's wrong. I deleted the files, I reinstalled them. If it's wrong, oh well. I apologise if it is wrong, but it's the best I could do. So looking to this car now. There we are. Is that the right skin? Looks different. Okay, so now I will show you the racing, which isn't happening. As I sit and hope I haven't broken anything. But yeah, we have finished the 45 minutes of practice. We're now on to the 20 minutes of qualifying. I have joined the server. I'm guessing qualifying starting soon, because everyone's saying good luck. There's the telemetry for my lap, because I've definitely done a lap. Timings. I will just quickly head to myself and look at these wild card skins. Steven Kovaza. Apologies for not having a skin for you. I don't know. Anyway. I'm gonna quickly. It's control number 1, isn't it? Where are the drivers that are already out on track? There's Pietro Longini, the Lamborghini Tech driver, and Alexander Rudakov, the other Lamborghini Tech driver, being let through by his teammate. Samuel Ivanov will ride on board with him for his first quali lap, as he is the. Why does it say bonnet? Oh well. We can see drivers with a little bit of internet fly arounds. There's move to this one will do, as he goes through Lesmo 2. I'll keep an eye on Discord to see if I get told off by anyone, but for now everything's fine. We have qualifying now. Samuel Ivanov on his out lap, getting ready to start. You see drivers weaving down the main straight. I'd hope for future seasons we might be able to have a safety car at some point. It'd be fun if maybe I could. No, I wouldn't be the safety car because I'd have to stream this as well. As Samuel Ivanov down into turn 1 he goes. There we are. Yeah, over the correct stream. The skins downloaded into T1. Little bit of a lock up there. Might have been a little bit wide into turn 2, but fine. It seems through turn 3, keeping it as tight as possible to the inside. I'm bringing the car into this chicane. I don't know what this chicane's called. Turn 4 and 5 to the Lesmo 1. Little bit wide, I think. As we ride on board into down to the Ascari chicane here. Very good line into the second Lesmo. The Ascari chicane hopefully is going to be an amazing sequence of corners. Lots of curve for the first corner. Ooh, second corner he took curb, and third one he takes all of the curb and runs out very wide, not invalidating the lap it seems, and through into Parabolica, braking at about 50 meter board, I think that was, and then returning into pit lane. Alexander Rudakov being the only driver to have set a lap time. Nassim crosses the line, sets a 22.8. Phoenix, having already crossed the line, set a 22.5. These are the first laps of qualifying for today. Let's go to a driver that hasn't set a lap time yet. Martin Hell is on a lap time from the Minty Mugen Racing team. His teammate Will KB crosses the line and sets a 25.7, and Coverza sets a 25.8. Ooh, it's Hell through Ascari. Loses it a little bit. But as we look to Anastasov, I think that's correct now. Takes me time. Anyway, into Lesmo 2, all good. 50 seconds on the clock, and 30 seconds are about of this lap to go. Crossing the timing beam, half a second off of pole at the minute, but still could put them third. Still could put them third. Because Phoenix is stopped and returned to pit lane, it seems. Jeremy Guth going at third with a 123.4, I think that was. As Anastasov crosses the line, going at third. And Coverza has stopped at T1. Jason Milanov, who I believe has recently won the Formula Student Grand Prix Championship. If I quickly check this. Nope, I wanted Sim Racing GP. I will double check this, but I feel like he has... We'll sign in. There we are. Okay, we will ride on board with Fulvio Phoenix as he goes down to the Ascari chicane. Through very nicely. And oh, Abu Dhabi Open split. Okay, I was scared for a second. I was going to say I've got 2 races going on today. If I go to series, we have 1 race left for a different series. Yes, Jason has won. Fulvio does not improve his time, but he was on the outlap there, I feel. This may be another outlap, or a time lapse that isn't updating. I think it's Timo Nathaniel goes 3rd. We have 2nd place Nassim Arula. Let's say Nassim. Into T1 with Nassim, a little bit of a lock up there for the inside tyre, but seems okay. He's continuing with the lap. Through 10 to 4 and 5, good. He's 3/10 up on pole position at the minute. Fulvio Phoenix just improved pole by 10th, so he's now only about 2/10 up pole position. But still flying. With his what used to be magic, now everyone's doing the 00 wings as it is Monza. He is 8,000th off the pole position now, looking to improve his time to either consolidate his 2nd place or maybe even take 1st place away from Fulvio Phoenix. Phoenix is a little bit slower top speed, so maybe Nassim's top speed could get him those 8,000ths that he needed to take it, but we'll have to see, as after Parabolica Nassim goes 2nd, 1900ths between them. If he'd been slightly slower, he would have kept 2nd. If he'd been slightly faster, he might have been able to even take pole position. But on to another flying lap maybe. He's pushing quite hard still, going into chicane. He crosses the timing beam and he's a 10th up on pole position. So can he... that's an out from somewhere else. Through Lesmo 2 as Max Romer sets a personal best of 23.5. Lots of drivers are off the track, presumably to let other drivers view, or they're just at turn 1, stopped, return to pit lane after a lap. Nassim still up. Oh, as he loses the rear through the Ascari chicane. And he was up on pole position there, but he lost the car, and so now has to try and set a lap as good or better than the one he was just on, as we look to Phoenix now, who may be improving on his own pole position time at the minute. We'll have to see. He returns to pit lane, so no, he wasn't improving. And as we now look a little bit further back in the field to 3rd place, that isn't that far back, but I was going to look to 5th of Timo Nathaniel, our reigning driver championship a reigning drivers champion who is looking to try and snatch pole position and have a good race today, but is not able to, as Alexander Rudakov was stopped on track. But now Nassim on what I'm presuming to be a flying lap, as I have the gear and timing data up on my second monitor for 3 drivers, for 3 of the drivers, as Nassim is on an out lap still, but we are going to watch him because this could be the driver that steals pole position away from Phoenix, as we have 8 minutes of the session left. We have most of the drivers out on track. Nassim is now getting ready to set not a final lap time, but to set a flying lap to try and take pole position. So he crosses the line to start his lap. Down to T1 he goes. Without a lockup would aid him. A little bit of lockup from the outside tyre maybe there. But as we head down to T3, Curva Grande, everything seems fine. We won't be getting timing data for this lap because it is not working. But we will still watch Nassim as he comes through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. Oh, he's very wide. He's onto the gravel there out of Lesmo 1. This lap time will not aid him in any way as we look to Rost Anastasov coming down the long back straight to Parabolica, as through he goes to cross the line and start a lap. Down to T1 we go. A lockup would not aid him for this race, or for the qualifying. It seems to be that every driver that goes through T1 is locking up a little bit, so it may be a bug with the track or the way I'm viewing it. But into the turn 4-5 chicane, he's about a 10th off of pole position, which would still put him in a strong 3rd place, as Samuel Ivanov is off somewhere, but not Rudikov, Anastasov is off there, clearly not happy with the lap. Timo Nathaniel crosses the line, is a 10th up, crosses the timing beam even, and is a 10th up on pole position at the minute. But a little bit wide at Lesmo 1, the exit of Lesmo 1 to Lesmo 2, a little bit of grass there, and he off the track, and he's not going to use this lap to try and improve. Samuel Ivanov, our championship leader at the minute, seems to be struggling a little bit. Only in P4. Not the strongest drive from him today, but neither has Timo had the strongest drive. He is only 4 thousandths off him in P5. Could we see our championship leader on pole position, winning in Spa and in Monza? Or will we see a new face winning the race? Or will it be an old face that we haven't seen in a while? We'll have to see, as Anastasov is off the track. Samil using a lot of exit curb there, but he was not a flying lap, so it doesn't matter. Now through Parabolica to begin a flying lap. Crossing the line now, starting the lap. We are not getting timings for this lap, it seems. Down into turn 1 goes. A little bit of a lock up of both front tyres there, it seemed. And through Curva Grande. Tied. Just thrilling racing though. long day. Apologies if I do yawn a lot. I'm just busy at the minute. And so this is just sort of something fun for me to do. Thank you all for watching. Thank all the drivers for racing. Thank you Timo for organising it all. And we will now see Samuel trying to improve on his 23.0. See if he can either take pole position or maybe even get a front row start. As Nassim is on track at the minute. I'm not sure if it's a flying lap. Samuel completely cutting the chicane, losing the rear of the car. He's struggling, it seems, because you can see all the times that him and drivers around him have just sort of put the throttle fully down as they're coming out of the corner. As we now look to Nassim, who's warming up his tyres to ready himself as it comes down to Parabolica to start a flying lap. I'll make sure ABS is working. Yep. As Nassim crosses the line to start a lap. Highlighted around. Up down into T1, braking about 100 meters. Bit of a lock up of the inside tyre there, but everything seems fine. Down to Curva Grande, which is turn 3. Keeping it pinned very close to the inside, bringing it out a little bit. Braking just after the 100 into turn 4 and 5, everything seems good. There's a Breaking Point racing car there that swerved over to the side there, trying to get out of the way, which might have put Nassim off a little bit through there. Using all of the track through Lesmo 1 and sliding a little bit through Lesmo 2, having to catch the car a little bit. As we go down to the Ascari chicane, which will also be a timing beam that he crosses. 4 thousandths faster than pole position. So at the moment, he is on track to set a 22.310, but with Nassim's top speed, we might see him gaining a lot in this final sector. Through Parabolica, getting the throttle early, taking the shortest line as possible, and goes pole position by 1/10 of a second. Great lap from Nassim there, with the top 5 covered by 1 second, but the top 3 covered by over half a second. The lap time difference between these drivers is rather dramatic, as Samuel is stopped on the exit of turn 2 as we look to Anastasov through Ascari chicane. Seems good. Not sure if they are, or if he is. Not sure if they're on a flying lap or not. Doesn't seem so. Maybe. I'm guessing they're on an out lap. And now they go to cross the line to start their lap. With 33 seconds of this session remaining, can Anastasov take pole position from Nassim? Phoenix can't get out and set a lap time. Nassim doesn't really have enough time to start a lap. Oh, as Anastasov just gets a little bit trigger happy on the throttle there and is not able to keep the car going straight, and it spears off to the side. As Timo now sliding a little bit through Lesmo 2, loses the car on traction after sliding a bit in the braking zone. Ooh, Rudakov there, just trying to weave his way through the cars on track. As we look and see, going through Ascari, everything seemed good there. Down to the final corner, which is the Parabolica. Bring the car out and then bring it back to the inside to finish the lap. He crossed the line to start a lap. It seems to not improve on his lap time. So this will be the end of qualifying. Phoenix is on track. Maybe it's Martin Hell we're waiting for, who hasn't set a lap time in this session. So I don't think has not set a representative lap time in this session. There's one driver out on track now that is fully Phoenix, so the session should be ending soon. Phoenix shouldn't be able to get a lap time in. Should, yep, return into pit lane. Oh, locking the rears as he was coming in. And then moving over to the right to stop in his pit box. As we look now to our starting grid for the 2022 Monza Italian Grand Prix. On Assetto Corsa F1, you have Nassim Rula by 1/10 of a second on pole position, with Fulvio Phoenix, the driver that was 1/10 off his final fastest lap, in second place. Rostislav Anastasov, apologies for struggling with names, in third place with 22.8. Only the top 3 drivers were able to set a lap time under 1 minute 23 seconds. Samuel Ivanov setting a 23.017 to put him in 4th place. Timo Nathaniel in P5 setting a 23.057. 400ths off of Samuel. Jeremy Guth about 4/10 off of Timo there in P6 with a 23.4. We have 3 minutes till lights out, and 7th place is a 1 minute 23.494, 1.2 seconds off of pole position, set by Nassim Rula, which was just an astonishing lap time from him. As I set up my janky camera that's going to look at our pole sitter. Just, there we are. Janky cam. Duck amongst men. So now we just wait the 2 minutes 40. But at the minute, if I quickly check what I'd gotten, Samuel will win the Drivers' Championship if he wins the race or finishes in a position that gets him more than 6 points ahead of Timo, which at the minute might be a bit of a struggle, to be honest. As Samuel starting 4th, Timo starting Samuel starting 4th, Timo starting 5th. He's gonna have a best. Samuel's just gonna need an amazing race, because at the moment, if there isn't too much overtaking during this race and it finishes similarly to how it starts, which never happens in a course of Formula 1, as there is always drama either at the start of the race or near the end of the race, as drivers at the start of the race are trying to gain as many positions so that later in the race, when it's all spread out, they are in a better position, or so that when the race is coming to the end and there's sort of nothing to lose, you'd either not finish the race or finish out of the points or finish with less points than you'd like, then the dramatic and exuberant moves come out a little bit more. But now, as we wait the 60 seconds until it's about 60 seconds until 60 seconds until the drivers are on the grid and the lights go out. Here is all of the team members. There's the Minty Mugen team and Bijou Racing over there. I think that's it. Yeah, let's just have a look at the team managers here, looking at all of the data, seeing how they can get their drivers to be the fastest possible. As we just sit and wait for the cars to turn up on the grid. As we look now to the empty grid where the cars will be soon, but for now they are still in pit lane. 3, 2 and 1. The cars will now teleport to being on track now, slowly appearing. We need all of our drivers now on track, plus the 2 commentary cars, which will return to pit lane once the race starts. As we fly down the grid quick, you have pole position Nassim Rula, second position Fulvio Phoenix, third place Anastasov, fourth place Samil, fifth place Timo, sixth place is Jeremy Guth, seventh place is Rudakov, eighth place is Max Romer, ninth place is... who is ninth place? Jason Milanov in ninth, Will KB in 10th with a Yuki Tsunoda helmet. P11 is Pietro Lunghi, I think. P12 is a driver I can't remember, but now we are on to driving as I've returned to pit lane, but I resume. I cannot look at the racing. I can't see the drivers on track. Here we are. Nassim in T1 is still in the lead just about. P2 is still Phoenix. Anastasov is P3. Rudakov may have gone off a little bit. He has lost a few positions there. Will KB is now in 9th position. Jason Milanov gaining 4 positions there, I think, at the start, starting P10 and now in P6. Jeremy Guth in P5. Samuel Ivanov keeping P4. Timo Nathaniel has lost so many places, but there's a car flying off there of who was that? Jeremy Guth maybe. But Timo Nathaniel struggling a little bit now in P6 after starting P5. Milanov from Breaking Point Racing having a great race so far. 2 Breaking Point Racing cars, 4th and 5th. Anastasov still in P3 for It's Dame Racing, so great race from him. Phoenix in P2 still, and Nassim Rula in P1. So down the long back straight that leads to the Parabolica. And Nastasov getting a little bit of a slipstream from Rula there and just almost getting past Phoenix there. Is he past Phoenix? He's still not past Phoenix. Phoenix has the inside line, but now he's past Phoenix. But Phoenix will have the slipstream into turn 1. Now side by side, Phoenix is getting a slipstream off of Nassim. And into turn 1, I think it will be Phoenix's corner. But Anastasov is not going to give it up. Oh, yes, he does. As we look back a little bit, Rudakov and Romer side by side into turn 1. Rudakov locking the rears a bit and flying to the side. Oh, is that his Will KB round at turn 1? And I think it was the Quail Racing car that hit him. Maybe it was Pietro Lunghi. He's slowing down to let Steven Koverza past. Victor Bernat is in P8 now. Timo back to P5 where he started. Jason P6, which is still a good race for him, but not quite where he started. So we look to the front of the pack, that's only about a second covering the top 3. As we're on lap 2. Lap 2 of 27. Down through Ascari we go. Top 3 are very close together. I've pulled away a little bit from Samuel Ivanov in P4. Timo Nathaniel in P5. I feel like they just take more speed through Ascari. That's what I felt when looking through this camera angle here. It feels a little bit pedestrian and slow. But Pietro Lunghi is spun on the exit of the Ascari chicane and has fallen to last place. Fulvio Phoenix setting the fastest lap of the race with his slipstream on Nassim. He's closing, but could not quite get close enough. Locks up a little bit, I feel like, into turn 1. As Nassim does not have the top speed. Anastasov has 330 kilometers as the fastest time, but 1/10 between Phoenix and Nassim. It is all to play for the lead of this race, with still 25-ish laps of this race to go. About 25 laps of this race to go. They are fighting like it's the last lap. This is the kind of racing that we want to see in every form of racing. Close, clean racing. But a set course to Formula 1 is where you're definitely going to find it. Here into the Ascari chicane. Phoenix may be close enough to have tried the move, but not close enough to want to have made it. Oh no, it's still a little bit slow. And that's sort of struggling a little bit through Ascari, it seems, cutting the corner. And Samuel Ivanov just behind in P4, with Timo Nathaniel trying to push with all his might, trying to close the gap in the championship to him. And the gap in this race, as Pietro Lunghi is in last position, Martin Hell in 13th, Jeremy Guth fallen down to 12th, Will KB in 11th, Max Romeo in P10, Koverza in P9, Bernat P8, Rudakov P7, Milanov P6, Timo Nathaniel P5, Ivanov P4, Anastasov P3, Phoenix P2, and Rula P1. Rula having pulled a little bit of a gap, but still Fulvio Phoenix has the fastest lap of the race at the moment. Ooh, as Timo looks for a move around the outside of turn 4 and makes it stick as he had the inside in turn 3 and just takes more speed through the corner. Timo Nathaniel closing his gap to Samuel Ivanov significantly. As we Max Romer is going slowly on the exit of T5 with some front wing damage. As we look at Will KB, who Jeremy Guth is closing on into the Ascari chicane, not quite close enough. Oh, Rudakov, where's Rudakov? He is crashed on the exit of the third corner in the Ascari chicane and has been overtaken. He has extreme front wing damage, but we look to Guth, who is ahead of Will KB. Martin Hell looking for a move past Rudakov, it seems, but Rudakov might return to pit lane to fix that front wing damage. No, he does not. Lots of drivers setting their personal best fastest laps of the race, as Alexander Rudakov is P11, but with some severe front wing damage, it looks like, from his off at the Ascari chicane. The gap between Nassim and Phoenix is opened up quite a bit now. Phoenix might have slipstream, but he seems to be struggling to follow through the corners at this distance. Maybe the Dirty Euro is getting to him and he's struggling now. Anastasov in P3. For now, it looks like it's going to be a comfortable podium, because there is a 5-second gap to Timo, but Timo is being hunted down like Nassim is being hunted down by Phoenix. Timo is being hunted down by Samuel. So Nassim sets a new fastest lap of the race of a 23.900. That is about 1/10 faster than the previous fastest lap that was held by Fulvio Phoenix. Phoenix being quite consistent with his lap times, but Nassim just a little bit faster. Phoenix consistently in the 24.0s, his fastest lap and his last lap both in 24.0s. Nassim and Phoenix so close together on the timings, they are almost perfectly on the second next to each other. A little bit of a gap that is showing itself every few seconds, but 0.08 of a second is barely anything. In 8 to 0.8 of a second is barely anything, as Rudakov is off at turn 1. It seems to be an issue with braking, because he was off to the left hand side at a right hander. So I think we saw it about 3 or 4 laps ago actually, where as he hit the brakes, sort of as he was coming off, he locked the rears, I think. And so Maybe we've had the issue again. Oh, he's struggling a lot now with that front wing damage, I'm guessing, because he just couldn't quite get it turned in there. Max Romer also seeming to have extreme front wing damage. And as they cross the line, Nassim is 1/10 faster than Phoenix, and Phoenix is about 2/10 faster than Anastasov. Yes, 3/10 faster. And then Timo and Samil having crossed the line, but Jeremy Goose has found his way past Koverza. I've not had a message about Koverza, so he is racing in the white liveried car today, as Will KB sets his personal best lap of a 27.4, I think. 27.497 was his personal best, but the fastest lap of the race after 7 laps of the race with 20 laps to go is Nassim Rula with a 23.9. And so Samil struggling a little bit and just not quite as fast as the other drivers today. Usually he is one of the fastest, but Monza, which is very much just a setup top speed track, he is not quite able to find the car, with there being about 13 corners at this track. Oh, Samuel is coming in for an early pit stop now. Samuel is in for an early pit stop as we look to the timing boards. We look to the drivers that have lost and gained the most position. Bernat has gained the most position, as we have Martin Hell off just after the Ascari chicane. Driver seems to be struggling quite a lot, but Bernat, after Ivanov comes out of the pit lane, has gained 6 positions, and Jason Milanov has gained 5 positions. The biggest losers today at the minute, Samuel has just come out of pit lane though, so you can't really count him into it. It's probably Max Romer, who after, I'm guessing, a collision is now struggling with damage. Alexander Rudakov with, I think, fixed damage that may have not been fixed visually by the game, or he's had more damage. But the top 3 have not changed since the beginning of the race, but Samuel Ivanov and Rudakov have both made 1 pit stop. So I think Ivanov is just going to try and go as fast as possible on this new set of tyres, which I believe is the soft tyre. Let's see if Samuel on this soft tyre can get the overcut on Phoenix in pit lane, I'm guessing. Yes, Phoenix is in pit lane. Yeah, Phoenix is now 5th position after exiting the pit lane, but there is still 18 laps of the race to go. As we look to the intervals between drivers, there's not really any battling going on the track apart from maybe Koverza and Bernat, but still isn't really much going on. But if we look at it quickly, well, Nastasov is off at the 2nd Lesmo. Can Timo capitalise off that? Maybe, if any damage has been caused. But seems fine. But Timo is now only a 2nd off, and Nassim has run away with this race. Now, it's crazy. Nassim has run away with the race and is now 11 seconds ahead of P2. So as long as there are no crashes or any bad strategy decisions, this should be a 2012 Motorsport win for the driver of the 47 car, Nasirullah, the number 1 car, is Timo. I don't know why I thought it was Timo. It definitely is not. As Kvyat setting his fastest lap of the race with 27.2. Ivanov setting his fastest lap of the race of 25.1. As Ivanov is closing on Will KB now. Ooh, into turn 4, there's a bit of a collision there. Samuel locks up, Will KB locks up, they both lock up, hitting each other at somewhat of a low speed, but still could be damage for both drivers. Nothing too bad though, but Samuel getting a much better exit. I think Will KB is just giving him the position there. Ooh, Samuel on the curb loses a lot of speed and puts himself in the wall there. Will KB taking the position back as Samuel now maybe the rear tyres are a little bit too hot because Samuel is spun as he's come out of the Ascari chicane. Now as we look to Steven Kvyat, who is chasing down Victor Bernat. Jeremy Guth is in the pit lane, so he will lose 2 positions to Bernat and Kvyat, but Will KB will also probably overtake him. Yep, Will KB just crossing the line there to gain a position, but now we are waiting from pit stops from the front runs as Phoenix is chasing down Milanov here. Will he be able to overtake him before he makes his pit stop? Because that will be a strategic master plan. Being able to overtake a driver that hasn't made a pit stop yet. Well, you have, meaning that after they've made their pit stop, you'll definitely be ahead. So at the minute, I'm not quite sure of the lap time loss of a pit lane. I'm going to guess it's about 15 to 20 seconds. And Timo Nathaniel setting his fast lap of the race of a 24.178. Fastest laps for each driver, being the fastest lap of the race so far is a 23.7 set by Nasirullah, our race leader. Second fastest is actually a little bit further down. It's Fulvio Phoenix, the driver we're watching now, with a 23.81. Third fastest is Anastasov with a 23.9. And then 24s is where we get our next fastest lap from Timo Nathaniel with a 124.1. And this seems to be quite a sort of one-sided track for sort of who the top 3 are going to be, and it's just which order they'll be is the bigger question. With Phoenix closing down Milanov now, will he be able to overtake him into the Ascari chicane? Probably not, but into Parabolica might be a good look. With the long straight that you could get a nice slipstream up, as long as nothing bad happens through Ascari, which it doesn't. This is the 13th time he's been through there. We're about halfway through the race now, and so with half of the race gone, there is still half of the race to go. But now, as Phoenix comes through, Anastasov and Nathaniel are both in pit lane, so crossing the lines, go from 4th, the beginning of the last lap, to 2nd at the end of this lap. We're on lap 13 of 27, and ad break. Joking. But will KB on the inside, Ivanov getting past KB, and Kvyat now not quite being able to close up on Bernat, sort of keeping a stable 7/10 gap, so sort of 7/10 to a second. So Ivanov, Will KB is fighting Ivanov into T1. Ivanov locks up a little bit, but is all fine as Will KB loses a little bit of time through there. Everything is good. My throat is dry. I don't have a drink because commentating is for the weak, for the strong. drinks of the week. But Ivanov has now plenty of time ahead, 1 second ahead after about 5 or 6 corners. So it shows you the skill of some of these drivers, as Coverza is holding a stable gap to the driver ahead. That isn't what you want to be doing. You want to be closing the gap, but Bernat is keeping consistent pace and good distance. Jeremy Guth is off on the exit of Lesmo 2. He's slow after, I'm assuming, spinning into the wall on the right after a bit of a traction. A bit of a not much traction. As Coverza maybe getting a little bit of a slipstream here, but I think Guth is just pulling away. Looking at the top speeds, Coverza, it doesn't quite have a... Not sure if Coverza would have a setup on, because as on traction, Coverza is off of the track and loses the position to Ivanov and to Will KB. Max Romer is a little bit further down the road. Ivanov is now up into P7, but Timo and Anastasov have both pit now, so Bernat is between them, but at the moment Ivanov is only about net P6, P5, probably P6, because Nassim, before he's made his first pit stop, is 31 seconds ahead. As we now look to the amount of pit stops each driver has made, Milanov has not made a pit stop, Arula has not made a pit stop, Bernat has not made a pit stop, and P8 to P12, apart from Jeremy Guth, have also not made a pit stop. So the drivers that have made their pit stops in this race are Phoenix, Anastasov, Nathaniel, as Bernat comes in for his pit stop there as well. Bernat is in for his pit stop, and that is the only driver stopping. As Fulvio Phoenix in... Where's Nassimula? Nassimula in Greys, just lapping Martin Hell, I think that is, but he's coming in for his pit stop. Rula is in for his pit stop. As, I fly through there. I look to the gaps from the leader. I looked at where Phoenix is on track, where Rula is. He's on pit exit. Where Milanov, where is he off at? He is off at the Ascari chicane. That is not a place you want to be off, my friend. You're going to be firmly on the track. As past our camera he goes, as Martin Hell loses the position to Victor Bernat. Max Romer through Ascari also may have had an incident with his front wing damage. Seems fine though, but he's closing dramatically on Will KB. Will he be able to make the move? Let's change camera view so we can see if it happens and not grass. Thank you, whoever positioned the cameras in the grass. We could have easily missed some great racing. As Anastasov is off at the exit of the second Lesmo. Traction today seems to be quite an issue on the exit of the second Lesmo and the exit of the Ascari chicane. And a few drivers have also struggled at T2 and the exit of T2, but only a few. We've seen quite skilled drivers spinning, as there is 4 seconds between Phoenix and Nassim after pit stops. All of the top 5 have made their pit stops, And so we now have Nassim P1, Phoenix P2, Timo P3, Anastasov P4, and Ivanov P5. As Will KB is off after seemingly a collision with Max Romer, who almost went into Jason Milanov as he was trying to get back on track, as Milanov is now closing quite fast onto Will KB. Milanov having, I'm guessing, had his pit stop just this lap. Seems so braking. Ooh, a little bit of contact into the braking zone. Will KB, I'm guessing, braking very early, but not early enough for Milanov to make any gains. But on the exit of T2, Milanov, Will KB not quite leaving a car's width there, doing what Charles Leclerc did to Lewis Hamilton, but then Milanov overtaking off the track. The stewards might have a look at this incident, but I think both drivers have done a naughty. But at the moment, it's P1 and 2 is Nassim and Phoenix. Timo Nathaniel in P3. And Anastasov in P4. But the gap... Oh, as Will KB spins on the exit of the Ascari chicane, flying over the track. And almost being collected by the Dame Racing car of Jeremy Guth and the Quair Racing car Victor Bernat, as KB is still not quite going, as Martin Hell there. KB is still trying to continue with the race, but he's not quite travelling at any speed, as our race leader Nassim Rula laps him. We'll look at each driver's gap to our race leader. There is three drivers lapped, which are Lungi, Will KB, and Max Romer. A driver that's almost lapped is Martin. Oh, not Martin. Martin Hell, yes. Martin Hell is DNF'd from the race. It seems to be he either having an internet issue or he returned to pit lane, and when returned to pit lane realised, oh wait, I'm not allowed to do this. But no, you cannot. As we watch our race leader now, Martin Hell retired in pit lane, so I'm guessing he either made his pit stop and retired, or returned to pit lane and realised he's not allowed to race and retired. Ooh, that is Rudikov on the exit, the Parabolica spinning into the wall, as he now returns to pit lane so that he can fix this damage. It was only a Parabolica, so it was only one corner away, but our race leader setting the new fastest lap of the race of a 23.5. Our second place fastest lap is only a 23.8, with 6 seconds between Phoenix and Nassim. Can Anastasov get P3, or will he be stuck in a lonesome P4 without the podium finish? We'll have to see. There's quite a large gap though, but Anastasov is overtaking a lapped car now of its Dame Racing Rudikov or Lungi. Probably. Let's have a look by pressing Rudikov, Lungi. It was Lungi in which Anastasov was overtaking. Now we look, there is about 6 seconds between. As Guth is off at the exit of the Ascari chicane. Not much going on. Let's see what he's up to with a lot of damage to his car, and our race leader passing him. Goose is in P9. But at the moment, the gap in the championship points-wise between Samuel Ivanov and Timo Nathaniel is closing, giving Timo even more of a chance to win the championship, as he would need to have closed. He would need to have opened the gap by 6 points more to make it impossible for Timo to win, even if he didn't turn up to the final few races. I will check how many more races there are. 2 more races after this. So we have it is Brazil after this, and then finally it will be the Japanese Grand Prix for the final race of the season. But Timo, spinning and allowing Anastasov to close the gap and get past him. Anastasov is now up into P3 for another podium finish. I think P3 is the last podium finish that he also got in Belgium. Yes, because you had it was Ivanov, Romer, who tried going for earlier pit stop. It was Romer and P2 who had an earlier pit stop than Samuel, but Samuel was just that bit fast on a fresh set of soft tyres and a perfectly level tank of fuel. As Phoenix is off somewhere. What has happened to Phoenix? He is seemingly spun at turn 2, it seems, and he might almost be about to lose nothing, because they are lapped cars. Oh, that was terrifying for a second, but yes. Ooh. And they're very close to the lap car. But Phoenix had spun at turn 1, but as we look to the exit turn 2, Phoenix had almost spun, keeping the car going forwards and keeping the racing going. And Anastasov in P3 at the minute, but Timo is closing in, trying to get the podium position to gain as many points as possible on Samuel, so that he can win the Drivers' Championship for the second time in a row, being the first and only 2-time ACF1 Formula 1 champion. But at the moment, Nassim Rula is not giving up any pace, setting another fastest lap of the race with a 23.4. As down this straight here, Timo's going to have a slipstream, but doesn't quite get as good exit off of Ascari as Anastasov, so most of the straight Anastasov actually spends. Pulling a bit of a gap on him. It's now down to T1. Timo has gotten the good exit and he has gotten the slipstream, and so trying into turn 1, there is not enough space and he is not quite close enough to make that move. This is thumb racing we're seeing here. It's called train because DRS is not a thing, so it is just slipstream train. But good race today so far. 23 of 27 laps to go, 23 of 27 laps completed. There's only 5 laps of the race to go. At the moment, your podium top 3 is Nassim Rula, Fulvio Phoenix, and Anastasov. But Nassim setting another fastest lap of the race by a tenth of a second, setting a 23.312. I am being messaged by no one. Well, by then. as into turn 1, very close between Anastasov and Timo Nathaniel. 4/10 on the exit of the corner. Sorry, Ven is not here commentating with me. Ooh, as that is Timo wide at turn 4. As we look now to the track, Timo, after being a little bit wide at turn 4, getting onto the gravel and flying off the track, is now 7, almost 8 seconds off of Anastasov. So as long as nothing happens in the final 3 laps, of the final 2.5 laps of this race, we shouldn't have anything bad happen. But there is not much going on the track anymore, as we are onto the we are on the penultimate lap now of this race. Samuel in P5 is not going to be able to secure this championship, because he would have needed to win the race or to have scored 6 more points than Timo. Timo closing his gap on the championship more and more, making it just a bit more possible for him to win the race, to win the championship. But through Lesmo 1 and down to Lesmo 2 we go. 20 seconds is the gap between Phoenix and Nassim on this final lap. There are 2 drivers in contention to win the Drivers' Championship, and they are P4 and P5. Timo being the driver in P2 in the championship. Samuel leading the championship at the minute, but for how long, as Timo is scoring more points than him, giving himself more of a chance to win the race. Not too many more points, but enough. I think it's 15 points for P4 and 12 points for P3, if I am not mistaken. So giving himself 9 points needing to be made up instead of the 6. Giving himself only 3 points. I'm going to check the points system quickly. I'm going to read up on the regulations. Ooh, was that a driver spun there? Yes, Victor Bernat had spun at turn 4-5 chicane. I am not going to look at that. Will KB is stopped in pit lane and has retired, as we are now on the final lap of the race with 4, 3, 2 and 1 corner to go for Nassim Brula. Wins the what race we at until Nassim wins the Italian Assess Course Formula 1 Grand Prix. So he crosses the line and wins 21 seconds ahead of Fulvio Phoenix. Fulvio Fulvio Phoenix. And as long as nothing happens to Anastasov, should be P3 for him. With Timo 8 seconds down the road, they are just at the beginning of the straight. As long as he doesn't spin through Parabolica, hopefully Commentator's Curse does not catch him. No, it does not, but through the final corner, Anastasov comes to take P3 in this race. Let me change that title to Italian Grand Prix, and I'll transition to the fancy little graphic showing the 3 drivers that got the podium during this Grand Prix, as Jason Milanov crosses the line, leaves the session straight away. So after that, your top 10, your top 5, let's say, were Nassim Rula winning the race, Fulvio Phoenix in P2, Anastasov in P3, Nathaniel in P4, and Ivanov in P5. Now, on to what could be interviews, probably will be interviews. If I go into... Who can access this? Don't know. If I go into chat quick. Let me unmute Discord now so I don't forget it. Jesus Christ, I'm loud on there. There we are. Nassim very happy with doing the interviews now. And now we will go and join Nassim for interviews. Oh, hello, Nassim.
Hello.
How are you after that race?
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, it was quite a dominant lead. I didn't quite get to catch the start because the program I use doesn't quite allow me to see the starts, but when I jumped to your onboard for turn 1, you were on the inside, still leading the race, so that was a lights to flag win.
Yep. It was indeed.
Was there any point at the race that you particularly enjoyed, or was it all just a great race?
The first part of the race was very stressful because Phoenix behind me. I started on the hards, he was on the softs. I was quite fortunate in that Phoenix and Rostislav Anastasov had a little fight at the beginning, so that gave me a bit of breathing room to get my tires into the window, because it takes 2 to 3 laps to get them properly worked up. Also had a little battle with Phoenix twice into Ascari, managed to stay ahead, and after that, I don't know, maybe I just had very good pace on the hards after the warm-up phase, because I was matching him all the time. There was one particular lap, I think Phoenix's in lap, I made 2 mistakes. One was the second chicane, where I got wheel spin on the exit and on the exit of Lesmo 2. But as it happened, the same lap Phoenix pitted, so that relieved the pressure. And after that, it was really just because I was looking, I have real time, so I can see his lap times as well as mine. And I thought I was consistently 4 tenths quicker than him on my hearts when he pitted for hard. So it was really enjoyable just driving around. And when I pitted, I had like 6 laps, and I think he made 6 seconds in front of Phoenix. I think he made a mistake because he dropped back particular lap like 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, I think going into the pit stop, you were 30 seconds ahead, and coming out, you were about 6 or 7 ahead, and just
I was
kept on
third.
opening the gap.
Yeah, I think I was 31.3 seconds when I made the pit stop. Yeah, but after
Yes.
that it was just smooth sailing, you know. I worked quite a lot on the setup because I tried to make a high top speed setup work. So I
Mm.
started off with like 3-0 wings, but I just had a lot of braking instability, which coupled with this car really isn't that nice because it's already very unstable. So I decided
Yeah.
to go up on the wings
Ah, okay.
to 5-2. I was running 5 front,
Oh,
2 rear.
you usually run quite low wings anyway, because
Oh really?
we always see you having one of the fastest top speeds.
Okay. So I made a good decision to go up then.
Yeah.
Because I
Cool.
saw, particularly with Phoenix, I think we were like equal on the straights.
Yeah, I think if it's still there, I might be able to actually tell you the speed. Yes. So, between where's you, Nassim? There you are. You're still in the server. Not sure. I
I
think
just.
you were about 327, while Jason was 325. Phoenix was 326 kilometers an hour. Was his fastest. So, yeah, I think you were like only about a kilometer faster. But yeah, congratulations on your win. Would you say who's your driver of your day today,
Except for myself.
apart from yourself?
Ah. It's a difficult one, actually. I just also want to point out that I was very weak, Lesmo 1 and 2, compared to Phoenix, because he was gaining like 2-3 tenths every lap. But then I gained all of that back in the first chicane and Ascari. So I don't know what's that about, but whatever. Driver of the day. I have no idea who to pick. Cause like, where did? Can I? 1 second. I think Timo,
Timo.
maybe. Yeah. Where did
Okay.
this? When did it start? When? Where?
I think he started P4 or 5.
Before. Okay.
I think he started
Well.
P4.
hmm, Yeah, I have no idea to be honest to pick. I mean, Phoenix was very competitive. The opening stint always within
Hmm.
1 second, and then when he went on to the hard, he was like 6 seconds behind me, and then made a mistake. I lost this love. Good to see that he got a podium. Uh,
Hmm.
I genuinely don't know, so I'm just gonna pick the closest contender I had. So I'll go for Phoenix.
Okay, dokie. So there's your choice for the driver of the day is Phoenix. Congratulations on the win, and we'll now go to Anastasov. Congratulations on the podium.
Thanks, mate. You can
It,
call me Rob, actually.
okay, Rost. Is that the second podium, or is it Tina in Spa?
Yeah, it was my second podium.
Second
This.
podium. Okay.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was very close with Timo at
hmm.
all the race, actually. I made a few mistakes. He made a few mistakes at the end that helped me to gain my third position back because he was. We had the same pace at the end.
Hmm.
Actually, all race we had the same pace. I don't know. It was a very enjoyable race for me. I liked it very much. It was interesting. At the beginning, I had a small battle with Phoenix,
Hmm.
but he was just faster than me, actually, and Nassim as well. Congrats
Hmm.
for you to the win, Nassim.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was very hard with the setup because I had to play a lot with it. I
Hmm.
think I had to leave like 3 to 4 hours to make it, and still
Ooh.
wasn't the best. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think it was good. I had speed on the Lesmos, but on the straights I was a bit slower than everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was it like on second last or last lap? Timo was just a little bit wide through the Curva Grande and got into the gravel. I think
Yeah,
that's what.
I saw that he was 5 tenths behind me, and just saw him how he he's getting into the gravel, and I was like, what the fuck, what happened?
Mm.
And but after this, I just enjoyed the rest of the race. And
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
but
a great
it
race
was
from you. Sort of
yeah.
the entire top three. It was sort of lights to flag podium. So congratulations to all three of you. Who would you say is your driver of the day without saying yourself?
For me, the driver of the day is Timo because he was very consistent, very little
Mm.
mistakes he made at the end. That is the only reason he is not on the podium right now. So yeah,
Mm.
Timo is my driver of the day.
But yes, so that closes the gap by about 3 or 4 points for the championship battle between Timo and Samuel. If Samuel had gotten the win, it would have been his championship. But now there's only about 3 points or 9 points that Timo or that Samuel has to spread now. Yeah, I think it's 9 points that Samuel has to outscore in the next two races to be able to confirm the championship before the end of the race or end of the season. So that is going to be fun to watch. Thank you, Nassim and Rost, for joining me in the commentators booth for
No,
the interviews.
no problem.
And I've been Ethan Mills, commentating the Assetto Corsa Formula 1 Season 2 Italian Grand Prix. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.